Have you heard people say if you spend 10 to 20,000 hours on something, you'll be a master? The truth is that might be true, but also probably not. But since June 3rd is Global Bicycle Day and we're talking about mastery, I figured why not combine the two and talk about excellence in the bike world. But before we do, let me tell you about a good friend of mine. He is an artist. I mean, this guy has paintings in art galleries. People are buying his artwork. He honestly makes a really good living as a painter, and he does a lot of Western scenes and Southwest scenes for the United States. Very well known, very well established. One day, and he was explaining to me, he's like, people will tell me things like, it must be nice to be so talented, or you're so lucky to have such a great talent. And he's like, these people don't have a clue. It wasn't just raw talent. Like raw talent, sure, it's a factor and it plays into it, but it wasn't just the raw talent. He said what made the difference was practicing and improving and working and spending thousands of hours when he was really bad up to where he was okay, and then to keep improving and improving and improving and improving. So it wasn't just the fact that he was practicing for 10,000 hours, it was that he was actually making changes and improvements during that process that got him to the point where he's a well-known established artist. Now, since it is Global Bicycle Day, and if you don't know by now, I do enjoy bicycles. Let's talk about some other organizations that had spent 10,000, 20,000, who knows how many hours and couldn't find excellence, but then they finally did. I'm talking about the British cycling team. If you haven't read Atomic Habits, I highly recommend it. But what I want to touch on inside this is this idea of the British cycling team. So for years, they were the laughing stock of the cycling community. It got so bad, rumors have it, they might not even have been able to buy bikes from some of the bike manufacturers because they didn't want them riding their bicycles and the world saying that, oh, the worst team in the world's riding our bikes, right? So it was pretty bad. Now, they'd had a number of different types of coaches. They'd come in and are like, oh, you just need to do this. We're going to change up everything. We're going to do this routine or that. And it hadn't worked. But what did work was a coach came in and said, we're not going to make big shifts. You're going to keep doing what you're doing. And we're going to keep training. We're going to keep working. And we're going to keep practicing. But what we're going to do is we're going to look for small changes that can be made, small improvements, and we're going to consistently find new ways that we can make improvements happen in our cycling game. And so that's what they did. They started looking for little tiny changes, and they'd stack these changes. So change here, change in our diet, change in our sleep habit, change it in all these different areas, not just on the bike itself, but in all aspects of life. And it took a few years, but they went from being the absolute laughingstock who never won anything to winning multiple gold medals in the Olympics. Members of the team won the Tour de France 5 times out of 6 years. So it took them a while, but stacking all these little improvements, making these little changes, consistently working on it, not just consistently doing the same thing, but consistently improving and looking for small little tweaks that would make their game a little bit better was what actually made them wildly successful. Now, I doubt you're probably looking for a gold medal, and you're probably not trying to compete on a bicycle, and you may not enjoy bikes as much as I do, but regardless of what your goals are, whether it's just you're looking to improve some areas in your life like your health, or maybe relationships, or maybe it's in your business, and you're like, why is my business not going well? Well, take a step back, look at all those different aspects and start asking yourself, where's a spot I can improve? Where's a spot that I can do a little bit better? How can I start stacking these improvements? And kind of like a staircase where you start down at the bottom, but then you're slowly moving up. You're not trying to step 12 feet up in the air at once, just little tiny increments, and it'll, over time, you'll make it up to that top, you'll make it up to that goal. So it's not spending 10,000 hours, it's spending a lot of time on little improvements, and then you'll find your success.